Hey, we're live.
Yay!
Mama.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our podcast where we dive into all things nerdy and geeky. I am your host, Lewis, and I am joined today by my amazing co-host, Lola, Justin, and Yadi. And today we're going to be talking about the recently released Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So grab your popcorn, strap on your Star-Lord headphones, join us as we embark in this nerdy adventure that is out of this world. All right, let's start off with the nerdy quote of the week.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say strap on your Star-Lord strap-ons.
I thought so too.
But I didn't.
You should have.
Also, he remembered the quote of the week.
Hey! That's the second week in a row, man.
It's because it's written down in front of me.
Awesome.
Go for it,
All
dog.
right. That's right, everybody. Time to test the host's nerdy knowledge once again with this week's nerdy quote of the week. As always, I give the hosts one quote from a nerdy movie or TV series, and they have to try and guess who said it and where it came from. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. This one is Marvel themed, just like the episode. So there you go. All right, here we go. If you try to escape or play any sort of games with me, I'll tase you and watch Super Nanny while you drool into the carpet.
God damn.
I know this one. Oh no.
No, that's not. That sounds like something Coulson would say.
That's what I was just thinking too. I was thinking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
All right,
What did he
so
say
Lewis.
that to? Coulson.
One more time. Repeat it.
Yeah.
If you try to escape or play any sort of games with me, I'll tase you and watch Super Nanny while you drool into the carpet.
That's definitely cool.
That's Coulson to Loki in Avengers.
All right, there's Lewis.
I'll say Coulson, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
There's Lola.
I say Coulson in the first Thor. I don't know.
And there's Yadi. All right. So that quote was stated by Agent Phil Coulson. So everybody got that. And the movie was Iron Man 2.
Ooh.
Oh,
That was kind of close.
that was
Ooh.
when they're at his house, and he's kind of like in house arrest.
Mhm.
He has to figure out. Yeah.
I was trying to think where
Who did he say that
Was
to?
he-
And
where was he that he could watch TV?
Right.
He was talking to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And he was talking about all the things that he, like a bunch of random superficial shit that he needed from, he needed from Coulson, and something about a Starbucks run. And he's like, I'm not here for that. And it wound its way into the quote.
Right. All right. So we all got 1 point.
Everybody got 1 point, and then everybody missed the series or movie. So the scores now stand at Lola at 15, and Lewis and Yadi are still tied at 10 apiece. So that does it for this week's nerdy quote of the week. So let's move on to our feature presentation, folks.
Hey, I'm just happy that I'm into double digits now.
About damn time.
Yeah. All right. So with that out of the way, let's get down to it. We're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh my God.
I know. That's it. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys are fantastic.
9.5 out of 10. Dude, it was like I said yesterday when I went and watched it. It was a fucking roller coaster, let me tell you.
It was beautiful
It was
and ugly and
fantastic.
everything.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Before we move on, I would like to say hello to Ryan. He is in the chat right now.
Woo!
So if you are just listening to us right now, or if you are watching us on Spotify, if you actually join us on our podcast live stream on Mondays, you get to be part of the chat and we'll read them out loud. And maybe, just maybe, we'll put them on the screen just like that
Yay.
if you can see them.
A
Yes, they are
question
going
for
to
you
be.
guys.
Sorry, before we move on, yes, caution, warning. There is going to be a lot of spoilers.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Ryan, if you want
If you have to go, we understand.
to, yeah, or just mute us and just give us the view. I appreciate you. All right, Lola, what were you going to say? Oh,
Can
my
you
wife
guys
Sarah is on
hear
here.
my dog eating?
No,
Because it's being extra loud today.
no, we cannot.
Making sure.
You're good.
Nice.
All right, so to start off, the movie's so amazing. I can ask Sarah what she liked the most about the movie, and it'll be very short because she fell asleep.
She was doing so good, and then I looked over, and she's like,
She's passed out. She's passed out.
"Yeah,
However,
So she was sawing logs that time.
yeah. However, we did
Yeah.
pregame before we.
we
Went.
did pregame.
That
we
would
did
explain it.
pregame Guardians of the Galaxy.
That would explain it.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. We should do that. Do it more often.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, take it away, guys. Tell me what you liked the most about the movie.
Oh man, honestly, the whole movie was just, like I said, a roller coaster from the get-go.
Hey, I stay awake every single movie. I am the only one.
Yeah, it was a chaos since the beginning. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
thought that this guy was attacking them just because, and it turned out it wasn't.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I think probably the only negative that I could give, and it's not really a negative at this point, is Adam Warlock's character.
What do you think of him?
Like he seemed like a
Like a
bit more of
child?
like a child. Like I was
Yeah.
gonna say he seemed like a bit of an idiot, but I mean, considering that he probably hasn't been alive that long.
Right.
Well,
And
They made it a point to say in the
yeah,
movie
she
too.
said
right,
his mom said he was taken out of the pod too soon.
pretty much.
So he was a preemie.
Yeah.
But I
They're
did
my
like
bros,
how they
though.
played him though. Like they play him like that. Like he was inexperienced. He's experiencing all these new things that's happening, and
Right.
Yeah, learning as he goes.
Yes, and like quickly in his life, he loses what he sees as his mother. Oh, spoilers! But
Spoiler.
that made
Mm.
him the way he is now. You know, like how he was in the comics and whatnot. You know, I liked how they played him because he was just getting hit by everything.
Oh yeah, and kept getting back up,
Exactly.
which is going to be an interesting one. And I'm glad that his character is going to come back. I'm curious to see which other of the Guardians characters they're going to bring back, but
I think that we're going to see the ones that stayed together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's.
Yeah.
I think that the way that they did it was the ones that were sent off away are the ones that we are not going to see anymore.
Well, in a interview recently, the character that plays what's her name? Will's sister.
Bomb
Oh.
something.
Yeah.
So she says something about we're gonna see a lot more from Drax and her character. And I think that they might have filmed a bunch of things and put it on Disney Plus.
Right.
That would be my guess, but we'll definitely see him. Obviously, we're gonna see Quill again
Mm-hmm.
based off if you haven't watched the movie but you still are listening or watching, stay for the credits. They're gonna be post credit scenes and whatnot. But yeah, based on one of them, we will see Quill again.
Oh, no doubt. No
How
doubt.
about this? I'm gonna make a bold statement. At the end of this episode, make sure you stay for the after credit scenes. I will put them in the episode. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, as soon as you see our logo pop up, stop it. If you want to watch it, stay until the end. After credit scenes in our podcast, fantastic. Hey, maybe we'll do that. Maybe when we break down a movie and there was after credit scenes, we'll have them at the end of the episode. So, all right.
That's an interesting one. All right. Well, I mean, for those that don't mind being spoiled, there you
Right.
go.
And we'll let you know if there's after credit scenes. That way you can stay after credits scenes.
But you don't have to wonder if there's something's gonna happen because you already
Right.
know.
Right.
We'll tell you.
So, what was your favorite part of the movie and why?
That's actually a difficult one, considering that this.
So many good things.
Yes, there's so many good moments.
I think, at least for me, one of the cool parts that I liked was when they were in this guy's building or whatever it is.
The
That
pyramid?
is, yeah, and is lifting off, and Quill had this elaborate plan that only he knew about it, I guess. And they
Yeah.
jump off the building while it's going up in this space, and they're all trying to rescue him and get in it while he's actually jumping off. And I was like, "What the fuck is
Yup.
happening?"
He drops
But it
right
was
behind them and they didn't see him.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and then
That was great.
We see Groot fly, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" He's like growing
Yeah.
wings, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
So,
I thought he was gonna
gets-
make a ball like the first one, Why
right.
didn't he do that before? Anyways,
They did well. I mean, I don't think they wanted to do the same thing with Guardians 1.
right.
And they wound up killing him in Guardians 1. And then of course they regrew him and all that.
Yeah,
But
but
I
my
think-
thing is like why they didn't think of something like that in the first one. But,
Right.
I mean, I still like how everything went. However,
right.
this new gliding Groot was pretty cool.
They did
Yeah,
some
I agree.
incredible things with Groot for this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts was when Quill gives the guns to Groot and he's like, "You know what to do with these." And then literally as he says, "Kill them all," and he just takes them all out and he's
Feel
shooting
like John Wick.
everybody. Yeah,
Groot's
actually,
a fucking armory.
it actually reminded me of the Matrix in the first movie when they walk into
That
the
camera
building.
movement,
Yeah.
right?
So
That's pretty cool.
It gave me that vibe of
Yup.
everything being destroyed around them and them shooting, and then everyone else gave me a vibe of stormtroopers not being able to hit them. So it was a very, very fun movie. It was action packed from the get go, and
It hits you in the feels right in the get-go
yeah,
too.
right. It
What the?
Lola, what did you like the most about the movie?
I loved a F-bomb. It's my favorite part.
The first
Push the button down. Okay, now what do I do? Get in the fucking car.
it was the first Disney F-bomb. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Great
Love it.
placement. Great
Yeah.
like
You can tell the
The
frustration in him.
tension. You can tell the
Oh, yeah.
frustration
Oh,
that's
yeah.
building up that he's just like, get in
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking car.
Oh yeah,
It-
Really good.
it's fucking great.
There's a movie that there's a scene. I'm trying to remember what movie it is that the person inside the car is unlocking it and the person keeps pulling the
And he
handle
locks
and it doesn't open and he's like,
Right.
"Can you let go of the can you tell me when? Now.
Now.
Yeah. Why?" So it gave me that vibe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. That whole scene was fun.
The funny thing too, right there, it's like you think that he know how to drive a fucking car.
Oh,
after he's
God.
telling
But
her,
then you remember that he was taken when he was a
Right.
child.
but it's so
Uh,
funny
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's so frustrated with her.
Yeah.
Why he actually doesn't know how to drive this thing.
He's like,
Right.
open the fucking door, and then he's just. And it's
Because
like,
no one
seriously?
expected that. No one expected that he didn't know how to drive.
Right. It's the last thing is in someone's head, like he
Yeah.
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
know how to drive.
Well, that's the funny part. It's like he like having been abducted at what 8 years old, and then growing up on all this advanced technology and things like that, and spaceships, and then of course he gets to an Earth-like planet and has no clue how to fucking drive a car. Like,
And-
do you
and-
think that some of the planets that they would have visited in their time traveling about the galaxy that they would have
Right.
had something similar to that? But I mean, I guess not.
I think it's more of a jab at this new generation that doesn't know how to drive stick. I think that's what it is. That's how I took it. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. That's a jab at Gen Z. Sorry.
Yep.
Also, I like the fact that throughout the whole movie, the way that they were storytelling, they didn't give us the whole Rocket story in one shot. They kept giving us piece by piece as he
Yep.
is in a coma version, like pretty much.
Most of the movie.
Right. So and seeing that they couldn't fix him because there was a kill switch inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting. That and the fact that the movie
Very
revolved,
X-Men.
right. The movie revolved around that. It wasn't just it's there and we'll figure it out. That was what the whole plot of the movie was, which is
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a great plot. And Yadi made a statement on our Discord that at first I'm like, but are you sure? He said it was the best Marvel movie since you said Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, since No Way Home.
Yeah. And I agree with that statement. There was
Oh yeah.
it reminded me of like the OG MCU. There was not a lot going on, even though there was, but it was a storytelling. It was we're going to focus on the plot. We're not going to give you extra problems here and there. We're not going to bring other universes into this. We're literally going other than them referencing Gamora that is from a different timeline. We didn't get to see any of that. So it was great seeing that they went back to their roots.
Exactly. No, it made sense that they decided not to jump around a lot, and because that was that was a mistake I think that several movies have made. I think the most notable example for me, and of course, bringing up DC for just a second, I think that was a big part of my gripe with Man of Steel.
Right.
Overall a good movie, but it kind of jumped around a bit too much.
It was too scattered.
Yeah. This was the pacing was so good in this. And like you said, we didn't get the full backstory of Rocket in one shot. It sprinkled it here and there over the course of the movie, and it just worked.
And not going as far as DC, but let's talk about Doctor Strange. I felt like Doctor Strange was the same thing. It was
Mhm.
it was a bit too scattered.
Yeah, it's like
I
here,
could
here, 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 here.
right.
Like throwing everything at
Yeah.
us,
And
but it
I
wasn't hitting.
understand. Right. But I also understand they needed to there was something that they were introducing. And it's something complicated that they were introducing. I
Yeah.
think that they maybe if it would have been a two-parter, not like part 1 and part 2, but maybe touching more into the subject in a second or a third movie, I think that would have been better. Focus on the villain and that's it, and then move on and explain a little bit better on something else, or maybe a Disney Plus show or something instead of cramming it all into one movie.
Maybe
And
an episode with different like uh universes, being that it's
right,
the multiverse, kind of like what's the show with the Watcher where it's different
What
universes
If?
and they jump around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Something like that where it's like one episode they're in this universe, one episode they're in that universe.
And then explain it like that, and then bring us
Right.
into the closing of with the movie.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it makes sense doing it that way leading up to, the next Doctor Strange, because in that way you're not rushing to kind of throw all this stuff at the viewer, because that's what basically threw that whole film off, because essentially it just goes down to pacing. The pacing was
Right.
off on that because they're
Mhm.
trying to hit you with as much as they can, as quickly as they can, because you only got 2.5 to 3 hours.
Right.
So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on their part, I think.
Right. And I think what also worked with this movie is that they stayed with what Guardians is. It's
Mhm.
Guardians always been a funny movie. Like the first and second, they were funny. Unlike Love and Thunder, that they gave us very serious movies with little touches of um of comedy here and there. But when you give us Love and Thunder, it was too light for what we've seen before. This one was just perfect.
See, I found it to be super depressing. It's a good movie, don't get me wrong. Super fucking sad though.
Oh, Love
Super
and Thunder?
fucking sad. No, Guardians, this
Oh,
last
Guardians 3.
Guardians.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a mix.
Super fucking sad. I can't bounce around from like ha 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 to them. You're like, oh fuck, that's so sad.
They did play with our
So
emotions.
they
No
did
doubt.
quite a
No
bit.
doubt.
So that was the only, I didn't have a problem with it, but I just not a fan of like going to like super funny and then super sad and then super funny and then super sad.
Right. Right. Is there anything that you guys didn't like about the movie?
That
I
That.
liked it all actually.
Okay.
That
That's fair.
that plays well with me though. So I don't have anything bad to say about this movie.
Well, to be honest, I can pretty much say the same thing. I can't really say too much, if anything, negative about the movie. Like it was one of those, like, you really didn't know. Like I said, being a roller coaster, it's like you really didn't know like what kind of turn they were going to take,
Right.
where they were going to go with it, and it's just like, oh my god, like this is. I really, really enjoy that, not knowing.
No, and I agree with you. I can't say that I didn't like anything other than what we just touched on with Warlock, Adam Warlock.
Mm.
It played well though. We saw this super character that he's overpowered or overpowerful. So this was a good way of being able to beat him.
It was a good introduction too.
Right. Right. Because I feel like if they would have given us the full power of Adam Warlock, the movie would have been really short.
Oh yeah,
He
The
would have
super-
been the main villain.
Right.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Like super powered, almost godlike being, but is like with the mind of a child, doesn't know yet like who
Mhm.
he is or what he's doing, and then, going through and just kind of learning everything as he goes,
Right.
and then getting that incredible moral lesson, towards the end, where
Right.
he ultimately comes in and saves Peter Quill from dying.
Right. Which,
That scene though,
yeah.
it looked like that picture from
Yeah.
it would look like a painting basically.
Right.
Which I think the painting, the one of the guys apart from God, it's Adam. So it makes sense because it's Adam Warlock.
Right.
It was
Hmm.
pretty cool. I thought he was dead already.
Yeah, I thought that was how
That's
they
a-
were gonna send him
I
on.
was like, oh, here we go. This is the
Pretty
one that's gonna
much.
die.
This is the one that's gonna make me cry.
Well, like they made it seem like somebody, like, I guess people were expecting somebody would die, and somebody says something from the production before the movie a few months ago that it was an expectation that somebody would die. I mean, there's a lot of people that die, but not.
We thought Drax was gonna die.
Yeah,
We thought that
they hit us with each of them. Though,
yeah,
like each
Mhm.
of them had
Legit.
a
because they
moment.
wanted you to think that one of them
Yeah,
was gonna die.
yeah, each of them had a moment where they're about to just. Normally, people would die.
Right.
They played it good.
Twice with Drax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Because when he was on Death's Door the first time, and then they brought him back, and I'm like, okay. And then when they hit him again, I'm just like, wait, this they're gonna fucking kill Drax. Like what?
Right.
But
I mean,
then they brought
just
him back.
Adam in the first 5 minutes. Just Adam almost killed them all. Like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
was fucking
That's what
crazy.
that's how powerful he is. He has no idea what he's doing.
Mm.
And he
Or why?
practically, dude, that what's her name? I can't think of her name. The robot one.
Nebula?
Nebula. The way he punched her and her jaw broke.
Yeah.
Oh man, and that scene that right after she's done fighting, she's trying to put herself together.
Oh yeah.
That was
Mhm.
insane.
Not just her jaw. Like her jaw didn't just break. Like it literally broke her
Broke
jaw
off.
and then broke her neck.
Right.
And her head was hanging about like this, and then she's putting herself back together.
That was
and just like,
that was in a different scene.
was it?
I guess
That's
they did
when-
it twice. They did do it twice.
They did it.
because
They did do it
I was
twice.
in
Yeah,
that.
it happens. Yeah, it happened several times with her.
because
That
when
scene, though.
yeah, when they're fighting all of them to go get the rest of the people.
When they go through that hallway, it was
Yeah.
fucking epic. It gave me vibe of that scene in the first movie when they're
Yes.
when Groot goes through everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this one, it's like everybody's fucking on it. It was that scene. It was like Matrix too.
Yeah.
It was
It was
fucking awesome.
It was awesome, and seeing all of them working together,
Yeah.
because you can tell that they're in sync.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. I'm very excited about this movie. Like, it's a movie that I would go watch again. I haven't seen a Marvel movie that I can say I want to go watch it again. So I'm very excited to see. Oh, obviously the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah. She's in the chat. She reminded me of the soundtrack. So the fact that they added at the end a 2000s playlist,
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty cool. Because
Yeah.
every movie they add a new decade.
Yep.
Oh, and in the credits, and I know I'm jumping forward, but in the credits when he start asking them like, "What is your favorite song?"
Yep.
And then he plays back the
original.
and I was like, "Oh yes, that was awesome." Yeah.
Fun fact: we got in the car and we played the song.
You gotta continue it.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah.
I actually, as soon as I was out of there, I wanted to watch the first two again.
You see, like
because.
this one is so far ahead of the and the first two are awesome, but
Mhm.
this
No
one
doubt.
there's a big margin. I think from the first two that is like
it's
Oh, yeah.
epic.
weird. It's
It's
weird
to
to
the
say
epic
that.
level. Like
Right.
yeah,
Right. It feels unnatural to say that a third movie of a trilogy is better than the first two. And like you said, the first two are fantastic.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. They are amazing movies, but I agree with you. This movie was completely, no pun intended, out of this world, dude.
it was
what I thought
epic.
was really cool was like we were talking about the soundtrack and that song at the end. It's like it seemed like they kind of paralleled uh Iron Man and then the end credits for Endgame when they did the hammering on the iron when he was
Yeah.
building a suit at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
they echoed that at the end of Endgame. It's like they played that song at the beginning of the first movie, and then they play it again at the end of that mid credits scene.
Right.
I'm just like,
they were closing out a chapter.
yes.
So, dude, great fucking movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
I
about Kraglin when he actually finally got to handle?
I was actually going to bring that
Thing.
up because you were talking about because you, Lewis, were talking about like everybody is like fighting in sync and all that stuff, and it's like the only one that seemed to have been having a problem at that point was Kraglin
A
because
performance
he was
problem.
right because he
I was
couldn't
gonna say performance issues.
he couldn't get it
do
up.
with your heart, kid.
Yeah, nope, Kraglin couldn't get it up.
Oh man.
So they
But
brought
yeah, no,
Yondu
he was
for
he
2
was having
seconds.
Mhm.
he was having so many issues trying to control that that dart, and it took that little motivational bit from
Yondu.
Yondu. Yeah, sorry, brain lag. And everything just clicked, and he was fucking murdering everybody. It was great.
Yeah, no. It's that brings back one of the first scenes when he's trying to hit the targets in
Oh
front
yeah.
of everybody, and he hits Nebula.
Oh
And then
yeah.
the dog is like, I can do this. I think I got this. And he's like, oh, you lifted it with your mind, whatever. That's cool. And then the dog just hits every single target. And then he calls the dog bad dog. And the whole movie, the dog is
Yeah.
it's pissed, which it made me laugh because everything that the dog was doing, it was a normal dog behavior, but they gave us what the dog was thinking.
Mhm.
And now every time I see a dog acting that way, I'm gonna hear what they're doing.
You're gonna hear
So-
that. You're gonna hear that voice.
Yep.
That was
You
also
take it
epic.
back.
When the dog what's the name of the dog? I don't know, a Russian space dog.
Mhm.
Basically comes in to save the day for Kraglin.
Yep.
Like, all right, you're a good dog. There's so many moments though.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I was gonna say that moment with Gamora and the Raiders, like she still found family regardless if
Cosmo.
it was the Guardians or
Cosmo.
not. Yeah.
Cosmo
you,
the
Sarah.
space dog.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no
look at
doubt.
you.
I think they chose a good villain for this movie, and they chose a really good actor to play the High Evolutionary. Like he really put a lot into that character. And his motivations, for wanting to, for doing what he was doing, you know, completely fucking misguided as they were, trying to make everything perfect and blah blah blah. And it's like it's funny though, because it's like all the advances that he made in the genetic engineering and all that, trying to create the perfect species, and none of them could actually think nearly as creative as Rocket. It's like that's the one thing that he succeeded at with Rocket, being, you know, imperfect as he was in the High Evolutionary's eyes. He couldn't replicate that, not even once since then, with everything he's created up to that point.
Right. I was going to ask, what do you guys think of the High Evolutionary as a villain?
It was a great villain for this
Mhm.
movie.
His
Oh, yeah.
performance was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And it hit the spot for a villain. I don't think we've seen a villain that it was that bad in the movies, but
That
also
wasn't
people loved
overpowered.
it. Exactly. Like he still
Yeah.
got defeated because of his ego.
Right. His own ego was what defeated him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And what's funny though, it's like a lot of the lines that he was saying, like the interactions with some of the other characters, and then especially his interaction with Rocket at the end, like that anger at Rocket for, you know, being who he was and being able
smarter
to
than he
do
is.
right. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. It's like being as smart as he was, you know, for something that wasn't even supposed to be like the next stage of evolution, like something that wasn't even supposed to live for more than however long he decided to keep him around.
Right.
And he managed to outsmart this guy at every fucking turn. And it's like, but looking at, you know, that interaction between the two of them, like the way he portrayed that character, like you could feel that anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, this is the type of shit that I enjoy. Like not the things that you know they're acting. It feels like forced. This
Right.
did not.
I'm with you. I think that the High Evolutionary as a villain was perfect. Like I said before, he wasn't an overpowered villain that
Mm-mm.
they had to figure out it. They couldn't beat him because they couldn't find him. He was outsmarting them every single step. It was more his brain capacity than his power that was keeping them from beating him until the end, where his anger got the best of him and he
Oh, yeah.
confronted Rocket, and he thought that he was beating the shit out of Rocket. I thought that was it for Rocket.
Yeah.
For a
And
moment. Yeah.
for a moment, I'm like, oh, we went through the whole movie with them trying to save him, and literally
But
he's going to get into a
once
physical
again,
altercation. But here's the thing: they brought back the first thing that he used in the movie.
Yep.
The boots. That's how he was able to beat him. That the fact that they did a full circle, and I saw a lot of things in that movie that I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen. And usually that's what I do with movies. I break them down before things happen, and I already know the end. But
you
I
could.
did not see that coming.
Right.
I did not see that coming, because usually when I see something and I notice that they focus on one particular thing, but that was so subtle that they're like, hey, what are you doing up in the roof or in the ceiling? Oh, I'm just trying these out. And then they keep on talking. There wasn't too much focus on that. It was just there.
Right.
And it
Yeah,
threw me the
that was
fuck
well
off,
played. Well played,
yeah.
James Gunn.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
which excites me to know what's coming for DC.
You know, like the High Evolutionary plays a character in Peacemaker. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's one of the characters, main
Yes.
characters in
Now that you say
Peacemaker.
that,
I didn't
I
put
did
two and
not
two
know that.
together.
you haven't seen
Interesting.
Peacemaker yet.
I have not.
It's
It's a good show. It's a good show.
it's something that you can say, you know what, DC, you got me with this.
Again, is James Gunn. He's
Right.
doing something right. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh
sad.
yeah.
I'm sad that he's He's
He
going
crossed
to
the pond.
DC, but at the same
Oh,
time,
yeah.
I'm excited for what's coming.
Mhm.
Interesting little tidbit, because he had a Twitter Q&A where he only had 2 rules. Based, it had to be a question that could be answered yes or no, and it had to involve Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And several people asked him a question, like, are any of the Guardians actors going to be featured in the new DCU? And he answered yes. So it is at this point confirmed. We don't know who at this point. Like, you can only speculate.
I can see Batista being the one.
More than likely, yes.
But he also doesn't want to play like like the typical muscular guy roles anymore.
Well, I thought he was going to be done with like superhero movies after this.
Because
Who knows?
he didn't want to be just the muscle guy. Have you guys? There's a movie on Netflix. Is it on Netflix? There's about the end of the world, and it's 4 guys or 4 people that show up in the woods. There's this cabin, and they kind of kidnap this family.
Oh, Rupert's
And
in that movie too.
right, and he's the leader of these 4 people, and they're like the 4 horsemen. They're there to tell this family, okay, one of you has to die, but you have to choose which one. And every time we ask you, and you say no, there's going to be something that's going to happen to the world.
Is that where the audio comes from?
The what?
The TikTok audio?
I don't know what audio you're talking about.
Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
I'll
He just said the whole you guys get to choose who dies or something like that. I
I'll
think
look
that's
it
a
up,
TikTok
probably.
audio.
It's probably him.
And so the plot of the movie is that it's 4 of them, so they're going to ask them 4 times. And each time they say no, something catastrophic happens to the world. Like the first time they say no, there's a tsunami.
Oh,
And it kills.
That's interesting.
Spoiler alert.
Well, right. It kills thousands of people. But here's the kicker. The only way that the things will happen after they say no is that the horseman who asked the question has to kill themselves. And then the other ones have to finish them off. And then something happens. And not only that, but they turn on the TV and shows them this is what's happening right now because you said no. And then there's a tsunami. And then the second time, planes start falling. And it's crazy. Malfoy's in it. He's one of the horsemen.
Say no more.
Yeah, he's one of the. No, it's not Malfoy. Sorry,
Ron
Weasley.
Never mind.
Ron Weasley.
Oh.
And he
That's why I
plays.
said Rupert.
Ron Weasley.
Yeah. He is a nothing like Ron. Nothing. But the movie is very interesting. There's no action or anything. The movie literally takes place in this cabin. The whole movie.
Knock at the cabin.
Yes. And Batista is the main character. He's one of the horsemen. He's the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
M. Night Shyamalan movie. He makes really good movies.
It's funny because you see this dude in a button-down shirt with all these tattoos, but he's a teacher. And he is a very, very calm person. Like, he's not... He's trying to convince them, not by force. He's literally begging them to end this.
Yeah, that's basically what he wants to play. It's just roles that he can showcase emotions and he can actually act.
He can show his acting.
Well, it
and
makes
he
sense.
did fantastic.
it makes sense in that respect because you wanna broaden yourself, in the kind of roles that you play and not, I suppose, limit yourself. He doesn't like
Right.
he didn't want to be how do you put it, typecast
Right.
as like the superhero or the big muscle-headed action hero or whatever. So I think honestly it makes sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing, what other roles that he finds himself in.
Me too. Me too.
Did you guys see? This is just jumping from characters, but did you see when Quill is getting carried in the first 5 minutes of the movie
Hmm.
by Nebula?
Yeah.
That's a doll that they
Yeah.
made.
Mhm.
It's all over TikTok. It's
Yeah,
a lot because even
it's
James Gunn posted something like a video of when they're about to
the
film.
interview.
Well,
Yeah, and she's like, ew.
yeah. Well, they have a part of the filming where they actually give her the doll for the first time,
Mhm.
and like 3 people are holding it. And she's like, "How am I gonna carry this?" It's like that's like 35 pounds. They give
Mhm.
it to her, and she's literally like, "Oh."
Mhm.
Super light.
But
And
did you guys
apparently
see?
the doll breathes too.
What?
You can see it
I
breathing.
understand the ew.
What?
Yeah, and it
Wow.
looks just like him.
Mhm.
Like it's not just they didn't make it sort of look like him, and let's pan the camera so you can't actually tell his face. It's literally his face. And the first time they showed it to him, he's like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Do you remember that time that we scanned you?" He's like, "I thought you were gonna do something like CGI." It's like, no. They built a life-size Peter Quill
Just for that scene.
just for that scene.
That Disney budget, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was
But
pretty cool.
but did you all see the interview where they're talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And they're like, he's like, they made it, and then he has it in his office, and
Yeah.
he's like,
A lot of
forbid
people came in.
to come in and scream.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, "What's wrong
He's
with
like,
him?"
came in.
Come in it.
You're letting come
He
in,
thought-
coming in.
Nah.
Right, that's why I said. He thought to come in it.
They come in it. Why would you let them do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
that
much
was-
that's what he says.
That was hilarious.
I just
Yeah.
love that. The
Yeah, he's
pause that
funny.
he made is like, did you know what you just said?
You know what that's a call, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the comeback.
Yeah. Lola, have you seen that video?
The comeback story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we watched it on Discord.
Oh yeah, this
Mhm.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian? I think she has some in the video. She has some cum on her back.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
man.
Hilarious. Okay, so
It's funny.
anything else you guys can think of the movie?
It's a lot of things, but
Well, when they all come together and fight the High Evolutionary, they beat his ass.
Mhm.
They all work together, and when they take the mask off or the
Oh,
skin,
geez.
his skin off,
yo,
because they showed us.
I didn't know
in-
how bad it was.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, you don't know how bad it is, but then I start questioning
Mhm.
why his face, because you see
Right.
it before
Right.
where he doesn't have anything on like that,
Right.
and then you see it after. It's like, oh my
And then you
god,
notice that why he's so angry at Rocket. It's not just that he's smarter than him. It's the fact that he actually disfigured him.
like bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
This
he's
is like Red Skull, but
Mhm.
literally, like
Yeah, that's what I thought of when
Oh,
he
yeah.
took off his mask.
yeah.
So much worse.
well, you also gotta admit Rocket was angry.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. I
So-
mean, that scene is fucked up. Like
Yeah.
when he loses everyone
Yeah.
that he knew. Like this is basically the people that like his family that he grew up with,
Right.
and all of a sudden
They're
he
gone.
thinks it's because of his fault too, because he's trying to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing that I liked before everything of that happened is how since he was so little, he started stealing parts and pieces here and
Yeah.
there. He
Yep.
didn't know what he wanted it for, but he just had
Right.
and that's his thing. He likes to just take
He
things,
likes to
you know.
steal.
I thought they were gonna actually explain the reason to Nebula gifting him the
Bucky's arm. Yeah, I
Bucky's
thought so
arm,
too.
but I guess we'll get there
Yeah.
eventually.
Maybe that was
Yeah.
just one of those things that it was just fun to see it, and there was no real reason behind it.
Well, didn't
Well,
he
I always
tweet
think
out
that.
at some point or another that like because people started asking like how did this happen? And I think he tweeted out at some point like he just ripped it off his body, essentially. It's like that's so violent. But also, yeah, it's Nebula.
Right. One thing that I, like I said before, one thing that I knew was gonna happen, or I knew the line that was gonna happen, was when he's in the afterlife and he sees his family and he's like, "Can I come with you?" And I'm like, "Yes, but not yet." I knew
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I said it out loud, not too loud, but I said it out loud, and I'm like, not yet, because we're not gonna see him. They're not gonna go through this whole thing, and
To
he's
see
gonna
him
end up
die.
dead.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, not yet. And it was very, very touching. So
I almost cried.
yeah, I almost did too. It's like when Mufasa died.
Oh my god, this fucking guy.
I haven't said it in a while.
I know.
Does this
It was long overdue.
is it to that level for you?
Almost. But I didn't cry.
If it makes it feel any better, I cried the first like 5 minutes of the film. And I turned to Sarah and I'm like, I came here for entertainment, not a fucking heartbreak.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you
Yeah.
cried at the beginning of this movie,
Yeah.
so let's talk about it.
No,
How'd
that's
that
fine.
make you
How are
feel?
you feeling?
I hated it. It's too real.
Yeah, emotions.
I don't like
fuck that.
movies that are too real. Yeah, no, I'm already like a little bit sensitive. So I don't like movies that are too real. So
Sarah said 5
it's a
minutes
good
in,
movie, but
basically.
it's all right. Yeah. 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh fuck. My feelings.
Listen, the first 5 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
Yeah. There's so much.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, one of the things that really like just got me was the little bunny didn't have any back legs, but then his mouth was covered too, or her
Oh,
mouth was covered too. But then like he had that little like
Like
spider
legs.
kind of, yeah. But then the walrus like had to be on a wheelchair, and then the fucking otter doesn't have any arms.
The
It was
walrus
too
gave
real.
me X-Men
Chief.
vibes, Xavier vibes.
The
Oh,
fucking
well,
naming part it's funny.
yeah. It gave me
Floor.
like, have you seen the movie Tusks?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't for that exact same reason. It's too real. Fuck that. No, I'm all right.
Yeah, but going back to the scene where they're naming each other or themselves, Sky, and what was Wheels? Was that the war's
Teeth.
teeth?
Teeth?
Teeth.
And then the otter was Lila.
Lila.
Lila, yeah.
And here's the fucking
Floor.
bunny floor, because I'm on the floor. I'm like, what the
To be fair, though, they have limited knowledge.
no,
Pretty much.
yes.
Also, you see the difference in the intelligence each
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
bunny was
and-
totally not the smartest. one.
Hey,
Yeah.
nope. We don't. It's missing back legs. You don't do that to the bunny.
I just did.
She's trying her hardest. Okay.
Yeah.
But
no.
you can definitely tell like there was a step up in
Mhm.
intelligence from each one, from the
Right.
bunny to the walrus to the otter and then to Rocket.
Did you guys get
Yeah.
goosebumps when he actually is saying, "I'm Rocket"? Like my name is
Yeah,
Rocket, and I was
I
like,
did.
"Oh shit!"
That little
almost-
that short
I
speech
almost-
leading up to it. Yeah.
And also when he learned that he was a raccoon,
Right.
because he didn't, he
Mhm.
never
I'm
knew.
Rocket
Actually,
the
none of
raccoon.
us,
Yeah.
we were thinking that he knew what he was. He actually did not know legitimate what he was,
Right.
Yeah.
and now we know. But it was
Yeah.
pretty
Hey,
cool
why are you calling me a raccoon? Enough
And
of that.
did you
Yeah.
notice through the movie they call him different things?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
it was so funny because they call him
Different
different things.
characters keep naming him different
Yeah,
things.
Yep.
Yeah.
the usual, they call him they call him
yeah.
names.
Yeah. So oh man, I lost it. I was gonna say something about the movie, obviously.
It was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was
One more
awesome.
time.
Yeah. No, yes. Very. I haven't been as excited about a movie in a while.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
just the way we're talking about it is like,
Yeah.
we could
Are
be
you
here for
kidding me?
hours.
Yeah. Definitely want to see this movie again.
Mhm.
And I honestly I can't wait to see like what they're gonna do with the characters that are gonna stay. And this is gonna we don't even know which besides Peter Quill, we don't even know, who we're gonna see again.
Right.
Because
Oh,
and James Gunn has said that, he's cool with another director taking on Guardians of the Galaxy, but not necessarily in the same way that he does it, just kind of put their own sort of spin on it. So I definitely want to see where they're going with it.
Right.
also, feeling part, like one of the best part of the movies was when he was actually when they gave him the title of captain.
Captain.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because that was
That
the,
was
the first two, they were always fighting who the captain was.
Yeah.
and it made sense that it had to be him.
Yeah.
He's definitely the smartest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when they said to him that he's the captain, I'm like, he deserves it.
Mm.
Like I always liked Rocket, but I actually became a fan of Rocket
Right.
with this movie. I
No doubt.
Sarah and I went with some friends to Hollywood Studios today, and there's a store that they have Marvel stuff, and like half of it is Marvel and the other half is Star Wars. And they had one section that I was Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was 90% things of Rocket. And
Yeah,
I almost bought something. I was like, I love Rocket.
I
Like,
want it.
yeah. So it needed to say is, oh, fun fact. Talking about real quick about Hollywood Studios. I did not go to Galaxy's Edge today.
What?
So we went with our friends and we did things that we normally don't do.
Mm.
We went into the one place that they have the history of Walt, and we've never done that before, and
Mm.
we never actually wanted to go in there, and we did, and we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then
Tell them about lunch.
yeah, okay, we were trying to figure out what to eat, but before this, we went to a tap house that they have right next to Star Tours, and we all got drinks and whatever, and then we started walking, and then we ended up at the history place, and we wanted to go to the new restaurant, the Woody's restaurant, which is a barbecue restaurant,
Yeah.
and they were not taking any walk-ins at the time. You need a reservation for it.
Sucks.
Yes, because it's the newest thing. Everyone's just wanted to go there.
Of course.
So we left there and we're like, we don't know where to eat. So our friend said, oh, let's go to the Brown Derby. We get there and there's like 10 things on their menu because it's one of their signature restaurants.
Mm.
The
So
first thing you see
that's
on the menu, filet mignon, $49.
yeah. I was just gonna say $50.
Yeah. So I didn't see I didn't want to spend $50 on a steak. And that was the only thing that I'm like, that's the only thing I would eat. And then they had a Cobb salad. It was like $20 some for a Cobb salad. And if you
Jeez.
wanted to add chicken, it was like $7 more.
What?
Yeah. So we asked about chicken tenders because it's a go-to. We get chicken tenders. We get the bill. 4 people. 2 Cobb salads, 2 chicken tenders, and 2 alcoholic drinks. $225.
How much were the chicken tenders?
$35 a piece.
Should have just gone with the
were
Cobb
they
salad,
good?
dude.
What the chicken
Well,
tenders good?
No, it was the same chicken
The
tenders
same
you
thing.
find for $12 next door.
Fucking hell.
But we didn't know this because it's not on the menu.
Oh,
It's not on the fucking menu. You think that I would have? That's with discount
But-
because one of
but
our friends.
you didn't know you didn't know the price because it's not on the menu, or because that item was not on the menu.
The price. The item is not on the menu
Why would you do that to yourself?
because I didn't think it was going to be $35
Yeah, that's
for chicken
insane.
tenders because I knew that the chicken tenders were going to be the same as next door for $12.
You paying the sit down price.
I'm paying to get fucked in the ass price.
I mean,
Because
did
that's
you
how
enjoy
it-
it at least?
The fucking the ass? No. And the chicken tenders? No.
I was asking about the fucking the ass, not the chicken tenders.
Both. They were not. It wasn't good at all because they were okay. The chicken tenders.
For the price,
Stole
it
the
hurt more.
ramekins.
We stole their ramekins. So what happened was, our friend, she's like, she wanted our French fries that we left. So we put it in a to-go box. She's like, man, but I won't have ketchup in the car. I grabbed the ramekin and I put it in her box. And
They got
then,
money for that.
yeah,
They got too many.
yeah. They got there was a charcuterie board in the bill too. I think that was better than the chicken
Everything
tenders.
else.
Yeah. Because our friend
I
that
bet.
wanted to go here because of the Cobb salad, because that's what she gets.
Mm.
Didn't even finish her Cobb salad. And I'm like, oh my god, this fucking thing is ridiculous.
It sounds like you were a newbie going to Disney,
Yeah.
but you're not.
No,
What-
I'm not.
what's-
But I
what
we stay away
happened
from
there?
we stay away from sit down restaurants because we know. And
You live, you learn.
I forgot that they were considered a signature restaurant.
Mm.
We literally every time we go there, we already eat before we get to the park because we're not newbies. And if we do eat,
Today,
we eat burgers or whatever. So we were like, oh well, her birthday's on Saturday. We're like, we'll go wherever you want to go.
never again.
Elizabeth, if you are listening, we love you. Thank you for the invitation to the Brown Derby. I appreciate it a lot. But I am not paying $35 for chicken tenders ever again. If you want Cobb salad, we'll go somewhere else. Or you can have your Cobb salad and we'll sit next to you while you eat it. That was it. So
Beautiful.
here's the thing. I stopped drinking because I was gonna drive. So we're done eating. We pay, we leave. We all need to use the bathroom, so we do that. And the women leave first They're like, let's go outside. It's cold in here. So I'm waiting for my friend that he's in the bathroom. But then I'm like, I'm just going to walk out the door. So I walk outside and they're buying more drinks at this bar that is right next to the Brown Derby. And my wife, she doesn't drink beer and she doesn't like mixed drinks. So she was doing straight shots of tequila all day.
Oh shit.
This is before the movie, right? Oh no, that was today.
That was today.
Ah, okay.
No, the pregame of the movie was at our house.
Yeah. And
Straight
I have a
shots
story
of
about a
tequila.
bathroom too. Just after.
Yeah, we need to get to that. So they need to leave because they have to go pick up their kids at school. So we walk out with them. As we're outside.
She's
yeah,
post tequila trauma.
She's in bed post tequila right now.
Oh shit.
She's watching us, which is thank you for the support. So we decide that we want to bring our little doggy bag because we paid $35 for these chicken tenders, whatever we took with us, and our ramekins. But I didn't want to carry that bag everywhere. So we go to the car to put the bag away. We sit in the car. We stay in the car for 2 hours. Because it was fucking hot. It was fucking hot. That's the beauty of having the annual passes, that if we don't get to do the things that we do every week, it's fine. We're not upset about it.
You're not wasting extra money.
Right. So yeah, we stayed in the car for 2 hours and then we left.
I side note, I've gone to, when I used to work there, I remember going to a park, walking in and doing a U-turn and exiting. How hot it was. I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. So I literally walked in and walked out.
I remember working there and I would check what ride was the shortest and the shortest time and do that, walk out and go.
We went to Epcot and then we didn't make it past the ball. We just left. we went to the bathroom and left. I was like, oh my God, let's go home.
All right. So Lola, tell us about your beautiful story in the bathroom.
So, Justin, real quick, you might recall the last time that we had a bathroom story at Cobb, where I was like, that was the most intense pee of my life. Mission Impossible music was playing in the background. Okay, so this time when we walk in, Halloween music already off to a bad start. Okay, it's spooky in there. It's tense, thriller going on. We sit down, we get to business. There's a wall separating our stall, like a concrete wall. And I start giggling. And I go to text Sarah directly. But I'm like, this is too funny. I'm just going to send it on the group chat. And I'm like, I need toilet paper. And as I send the message, a message pop in from Sarah saying, I need toilet paper.
So neither of us.
Yeah. No, I'm going there because this is fucking funny. And I asked you yesterday and you said yes. So please hold. I'm looking for the messages.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna read that. But then she asked me if she should ask her neighbor. And I'm like, yes. And then bring me some. There's none next to me because, there was nobody next to me. So I just kind of scoot my hand over, try to see if I can find toilet paper. So apparently there was a mom and a child next to her. And the little girl goes, there's no toilet paper. So there's no toilet paper in this fucking bathroom.
Shit.
Also, I would like to point out, if it's okay with my brother, that he also said, I also need toilet paper. At least yours won't stain your underwear. I'm really hoping you were kidding though. But then I'm just giggling my ass off in this bathroom and it's very loud. My giggles. And she's like, stop. And then she texted me the whole, oh my God, the people next to me are out too. And it's like, I can't stop laughing because this is so fucking bizarre. What are the chances that I pee if there's no toilet paper? I go ask Sarah, which is right next to me. There's a concrete wall, but she's right next to me. Also not toilet paper. And then she goes to ask her neighbor, stops right when the child says, there's no toilet paper, Mom.
They were in the pandemic times.
Yeah, shit.
Pretty much. And then Sarah took one for the team and got us toilet paper.
I think the problem is that a bunch of movies let out at the same time.
At the same time, yeah. So, moral of the story. First of all, don't do tequila shots when you go to the movie theater. You'll enjoy the movie, but you'll have to be.
We don't need that kind of negativity.
You'll have to be a lot. That's all I'm saying. And 2, make sure you grab napkins, extra napkins while you're buying food. So just in case there's no toilet paper and your stall next to you doesn't have toilet paper and the stall next to that other person doesn't have toilet paper, you have something to try yourself with.
It was a roller coaster.
That's it. It was a roller coaster.
Is it with that theater and running out of shit? Like,
I
it seems
don't
like
it doesn't
know.
run out of shit. It's you can't clean your shit.
Well, you can't clean your shit, apparently.
Well, no, it seems like the last few times we've gone to that theater, they have run out of something.
Yeah. Oh, also the
sucks,
song.
apparently.
Yeah,
The song, as when we were gonna walk out, it was the what is it, Swan Lake song, the really intense song. It's like, again, super topical. Love that intense music when I'm trying to go pee.
Is this just before the movie or after?
This is after the movie ended, when we're trying to go home, but we're in a predicament a little bit.
I thought you had to rush to get into the movie theater.
No,
No, we were done.
we were done by that point.
Got it.
All right. Do you guys have anything else?
Amazing movie, super fun, roller coaster, 9.5 out of 10.
Perfect. Okay. Let's do this.
We did it. Oh, she's right. Hold on. She said it was an intense moment. However, I think this was the moment we needed for the Mission Impossible music. You're fucking right, dude.
That's hilarious. All right. Give me your rating again. 1 to 5. Because I want to add the nerdy rating in the.
I thought we were doing
the
originally
editing.
1 to 10. Was that changed?
Well, I want to do it 1 through 5 because I want to add the average after we say them in editing with our logo.
Got it.
But
Cool.
And 10 would be too much.
Got it.
So 1
Makes
through 5.
sense.
So Justin,
4.5.
4.9.
3.
what?
Yeah, I give it a 3. I
Okay.
dare a lot.
I give it a 4.9.
It's funny because before you were saying that, I've been thinking about my rating for the movie, and it was always going to be at a 7. And then you're like, 1 through
You
5.
fucked it
Okay,
up.
cool. Thanks.
You're gonna take another number. I'm sorry.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to switch mine up, 4.9.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right.
Buenos.
If you guys don't have anything else, thank you for tuning in to our nerdy podcast today. We hope you enjoy our discussion about Guardians of the Galaxy. And I hope that you are as excited as we are for this movie. If you want more nerdy content, just make sure you check out our website, thenerdarchive.com, where you can find even more articles, reviews, and podcasts just like this one. Don't forget to follow us on social media, where we even share nerdy goodness and keep up with. Don't forget to follow us on social media, where we share even more nerdy goodness and keep up to date with all the latest news and releases. You guys are fantastic. Don't forget to join our Discord if you want to stay up to date. Also, once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next episode. Deuces.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I have to.